everyone, welcome to my channel 100 Stories. Today I'm going to present you story 11. But before I do that, make sure to subscribe my channel 100 Stories if you haven't yet for some reason, and also share, like, comment as well. Now let's begin. A bedtime story. Daddy, can you tell us that story about Iniko again, please? Asks Zane, excited, his eyes shining. Iniko's story was his and his twin sister's favorite bedtime story to hear from their dad. Yeah, Daddy, tell us that story again, said Ada, equally excited as her twin brother. Okay, kiddos, but after this you have to promise Daddy that you won't ask him for any more stories and fall asleep. I don't even know why you two like that story so much, said the dad, slightly chuckling. We promise, exclaimed the 6-year-old twins in perfect sync with each other. I don't know, Daddy. You think kids me and Ada's age would like stories of fairies or monsters or something? But I'm way more mature than that. I'm a big boy, said the son, proudly puffing up his chest. Yeah, me too. I'm a big girl, said Ada. Okay, big boy and big girl, get comfy now. I'll be telling you Iniko's story. The twins made themselves comfortable on their beds, their eyes wide open with excitement. Their dad started narrating the story. Iniko's name suited him. It meant born during troubled times. He was born during the Rwanda conflict, one of the worst violent conflicts of Africa. Many people were affected by the aftermath of the conflict for many years to come. Since he was from Nigeria, Iniko's family was not directly affected, but he grew up listening the horrid story of Rwanda genocide. His family was a living family, nor rich nor poor. They owned a small grocery business, and that was sufficient to live and to meet their basic needs. But Iniko hoped for something better than that. He had always hoped for something better than that. So he made a decision to go to Europe. He planned to live the rest of his life there only. Happy, peaceful, prosperous life. So he decided to sail the Mediterranean Ocean, reach Italy, being one among the crowd sailing there illegally. He would just be one among many faces, very discreet, and hopefully would reach there successfully. So one fateful day, Iniko packed the things needed for his journey, like clothes and other personal belongings, and set out with about 100 others on a cram boat. They were supposed to depart from Libya to reach Italy, crossing Mediterranean Sea. The boat was full to the brim with people, and it was very uncomfortable. It was very noisy as well. They sailed across the sea, the boat moving up and down on the water. Quite peaceful, and the sound of the sea breeze in their ears, along with the chatter. Iniko thought he was going to be seasick. They continued traveling on the wooden boat. He was one of the few sharing hands with the people who were rowing the boat. It was quite strenuous work, but he knew it would all be worth it. But something was to happen that wasn't expected. A strong gust of wind struck the boat. It started swaying uncontrollably from side to side, and it slowly started to flip. The people inside the boat started panicking. Iniko was doing the same. He didn't know what was going to happen. He knew very little swimming. The boat completely flipped. The people on the boat were buried under it, and the boat was on top of them. They gasped as they sank in the water. They were frantically moving around as they were buried and were drowning. Those poor people, said Ada, sounding pitiful. Shut up, Ada. I want to hear that part about Iniko, said Zane, angry that his sister had interrupted the flow of the story. Okay, kiddos, no need to get all worked up. Yeah, Ada, you're right. Those poor people, said the dad, his voice trailing off. What's wrong, Dad? Said Zane, sounding impatient. Oh, nothing. Anyways, let me continue. Iniko was filled with despair as he continued to sink in the water. He tried to swim around, but since he didn't have enough swimming skills, it only made his situation worse. His lungs were filling with water. His life flashed in front of him like a cassette tape. It was the end for him. His heart was filled with regret, and he closed his eyes, thinking that he would never, ever open them again. And the world turned completely dark. This one needs CPR! Quick! Yelled somebody. Somebody was pressing his chest. He slowly gained consciousness again. He slowly sat up, coughing up the water in his body, sputting, What? There was a man standing above him. He wiped the sweat off his brow. You were lucky there, Fra. Unfortunately, many of your fellow immigrants weren't. We are the Italian rescue team. We tried to save almost all of you, but we couldn't. Inigo turned his head to look around the boat. It was filled with people, but the number of people was way lesser than it was before. There were the loud cries of babies, and people lay on the floor of the boat in small groups, mourning the loss of their family members. Inigo soon returned back to Africa as ordered by the Italian police. He decided that it would be the best just to stay in his own country, rather than risking his neck to get to others. He decided to live the rest of his life in his own country and started to work hard in the business set by his parents. Inigo also had 2 beautiful children with the woman of his dreams, and that's it. So kids, the moral of the story is that if you want to go somewhere, then you better know the risk associated with it. Don't risk your necks for something you can even do in your own country. But Ada and Zane had fallen asleep a long time ago. Their dad smiled to himself and kissed both of them on their foreheads and turned off the lamp on the bedside table. He closed the door gently and walked upstairs to the kitchen. His wife Audrey was waiting for his return, with served food on the table, scrolling through her mobile. Told the kids that story again? When are you going to tell them that you're actually Inigo? She said, taking off her glasses and putting them on the table. Yeah, I did. I'll tell them one day, Audrey. Actually, Inigo is none other than myself. That name was given to me by my parents as a calling name, said Inigo, adjusting his chair to begin dinner. So guys, that's the end of Inigo's story. Did you like this story? Did you notice the different modifications in this story? Well, if you did and liked it, then give this video a like. And also share, subscribe, comment as well. But before that, I don't have to tell the takeaway because Inigo already said himself, isn't it? So for now, bye!